Our next guest is making perfectly seared swordfish with a sauce more versatile than I bet any condiment in your kitchen. Welcome back, our good friend, the one and only chef Nick Stellino.
I have to say thank you.
Cam, Larissa, and Paigey are not shy. They're already digging in.
It smells so good.
Incredible.
So today we're going to have a swordfish that's bathed in a beautiful classic Italian sauce called agrodolce.
Absolutely.
So what does agrodolce mean?
Agrodolce, let's get started here so
Okay.
that people at home can see it. This is fennel that we have cut in small bits.
Okay.
It's very typical of Sicilian cooking. And one of the things I have to tell you, when my father came to visit me here in the United States, no, I like to eat the
Okay,
stainless
do
steel
it.
spoon.
Do it.
It makes a ton of noise, which means that people are out of control. They go, "Yeah, please stop that man, stop him right now." And I go, yeah, come and catch me. Instead, this is how I do it at home. So fennel goes in there. Together with the fennel, we put a little bit of red onions. I like them because they have enormous more flavor. This is the base that when you do this at home, you want to have it on medium-low heat.
Okay.
You want to let this cook in this combination for about 4 minutes. Why?
We had olive oil, garlic, and red pepper
Yeah,
flakes
the olive
first.
oil and the garlic was already in here, so I got started so that we can move along.
Okay.
Now, the next addition here that's very important is the raisins. These raisins have been brought back to life by actually marinating them into hot water, really almost boiling water for about a half hour. You just fill it, walk away, and let it be.
I thought
Okay.
you added sugar to this dish because it is very sweet, but just in some bites.
Madame.
But that goes into why the sauce is called agrodolce. Because the
Agrodolce.
word agrodolce means?
Agro means sour. By the way, we just added pine nuts, and agro means sour, and dolce means sweet. Now we add two elements that are very important. We go with the basil, fresh basil. Do not use dry basil. Why? You use dry basil, I'll never come to your house. And then the next thing that we do is mint. Mint is very important. It's very typical of our Sicilian cuisine. Now here comes the best part of it all. Once you get to this point, two things. Thank you, madame.
You're
so lovely.
welcome.
The first thing that we do is a little bit of wine. And you just add it, and as you add it, you crank up the heat a little bit because you want for this wine to evaporate.
Okay.
Now, the next thing that we're going to do is the addition of the agrodolce. Now, when you make this at home, you want to take your time. You want to wait for this wine to evaporate. But here we are together amongst friends. Nobody's looking at me in a way that would criticize me at all. Plus, being as handsome as I am, I tend to actually obfuscate the reality. Sometimes I have no idea what I'm doing. But people look at me and they go, man, the guy's a master. Yes, I am.
Yes.
Remember that. I am. Now, oh, but
Do
see
you
what
have
happened to
your
my hair?
voice in like an audio book or
Yeah.
anything that I could just like play
listen to.
and listen to you? Because that's what I'd like.
So there's the brown sugar.
It's a brown sugar, and here we go with a little touch of vinegar. You want to cook it on high heat, and just so that you evaporate the vinegar, so that the sugar undertakes its own presence and it connects with all the ingredients.
Right.
This goes to, these are Italian-style chopped tomatoes. Those are San Marzano style, very sweet, very good. You add the tomatoes, you mix them with everything, and as you do that, the next thing that you want to do is to add the packing juice that came with the tomatoes.
Okay.
So at this point, notice how I leave it fairly shallow. This is not a sauce that we make in over 40 minutes. Right? When you do this at home, you want to bring this to a boil, and then you want to simmer it for about 15 minutes. Why don't I do that? Are you kidding me? You just see I'm wearing a suit. This thing
got that kind
splashes
of
all over. It gets me dirty. I cannot do
Looking right
this.
at me, I got nervous there.
So we're going to let that simmer for about 10 to
I
15
love the
minutes.
fact that he takes me at my word. He really thinks I'm
You believe
a
everything you
mobster.
said. Well, you look official.
I know,
So
I
now
do
we're going
look
to
that way.
prepare our swordfish with the beautiful rub that you have.
The rub is very simple. Is salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and brown sugar.
Okay. Again with the brown sugar. Okay.
Brown
nice.
sugar, it creates a yin and yang between the salt and the pepper. And the reason why I like to use brown sugar is because it's traditional in the fact that in Sicily, it was unusual to get the white sugar. Only the very wealthy homes used to have it, but also has a far deeper flavor. Now,
What the brown sugar has done was like a full novel.
it is. People look at ingredients as if ingredients is something that comes out of a box. An ingredient is a note within the context of a song. An ingredient is a verse out of a piece of poetry.
This is like a love story.
Well, if you don't love what you do, especially when it comes to food, well, you're just going to do this to eat. If you're going to eat, you're going to look like me. That's not going to thing.
Okay, so now you're putting it in breadcrumbs.
Yes. And watch it how we do it.
Look
A
at
lot
that.
of people think, look how light is the breadcrumb right now, coating done. and how perfect it is. I put it back in here.
Are these any special sort of breadcrumbs?
No, these are Italian-style breadcrumbs. There are many companies out there that make it out. I discovered a fantastic company out east made by four brothers whose name was C, so they called it four. That's amazing. But any kind of breadcrumbs you can do. Salt and pepper if you want to.
Okay.
Now, The best part comes here. Let's reduce this. You see why I told you we're not going to stay
Oh,
close
look
to
at
it?
that.
Look at the sucker. Now we have the pan now really hot. This is extra light olive oil.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that we want to do is to wait and make sure that's super hot.
Okay, so let's get that on there because I'm
sorry.
hungry, Nick. You're talking too much. I'm starving to
Nick,
death. They're eating.
Amazing.
No, that's a problem I had since I was a little kid. Every time I next to beautiful
It's
people
so
and I
good.
would like to impress, I keep on talking, thinking that maybe this will get me out of trouble. Truth is, it gets me nowhere, but it looks fantastic on TV. Come
How
on
long do you sear it?
2 minutes per side on high heat.
And then after that, just for sake of
Look
TV,
at that.
look at that.
How quickly
Beautiful.
it does. And the reason why you have this browning that you've seen just now is the brown sugar that under high heat immediately coagulates, seals, and creates a crust, and it brings in all the other flavor. This is a technique that's going to make you top restaurant owners. Look how beautiful it is.
This goes for 2 minutes on each side. Then we put it back in our
Back
beautiful sauce,
in
right?
the sauce, and it has to go exactly like this, and you want to then finish it in the sauce. Let me turn this off. So for about 4.5, 5 minutes, depending on the size of the fish that you have.
Okay.
And when you're ready, at the end,
Yep.
if God aligns with you and it presents you with the outcome or the interest that you should have, if you've been a good boy, if you say your prayers at night, this is what you get. And when you get this,
Boom.
you get to do two things and you get to do them right.
Okay.
Number one, you get to look at it and say to yourself, Maron, I'm good. By the way, you would be right even if you said yes.
Okay.
And then the sauce. The sauce is one of the things that I like to do exactly like this. You put it on there.
I mean, you could put this on chicken as well.
This is fantastic, as a matter of fact, for grilled steak, for grilled chicken, for different type of fishes.
No.
It works extremely well.
We use that on the roll.
Madame, you're so incredible.
That's why you need me in your kitchen. I'll keep it clean, I promise.
Madame, you're not one of the best at your business for nothing. Look how attentive you are, in spite of the fact that I talk so long and I
Look
forgot what I
at
was saying.
that, Debbie. You have a taste. Nick, you keep on serving that up. I'm going to tell everybody at home that Nick's got an early Christmas present for everybody. You can download a copy of one of his digital cookbooks on our website. Nick, Merry Christmas to you, too. This was our Christmas present having you here today.
I have one
You're the
favor I
best.
would like to ask.
Okay.
For all of you that are watching television right now, you know that here in Southern California and Northern California, we're having horrible fires.
Okay.
For those of you that find yourself in a position to help, go online, look for the Red
Yes.
Cross, all those people who are out there helping. Because the fire right now is just a few miles away from my home. I don't know where I'll be sleeping tonight. But there are hundreds of thousands of people that don't have my means, they don't have my fortune, that they don't have the advantages that I have. And at this very moment, if you cannot help financially, at night, when you say your prayers, please include these people. Allow them to be protected by the big God in the sky that takes care of all of us, because it's extremely fearful for all of us. Meanwhile, we'll be eating this and we'll be celebrating life, especially its best moment.
Thank you.
Well said. Well said. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you. And
so
this
much,
has been
Nick.